The idea that you would play such a card and try fear-mongering among minorities just because you disagree with Republicans, that they're somehow all racist, I find it appalling. I find it insulting.
That is Condoleezza Rice. She's referring to a flyer was passed out that suggested that anybody who had voted for a Republican was essentially a racist. Maxine Waters is one of the most irresponsible politicians in American life, in my opinion. She once, believe it or not, called George Herbert Walker Bush, that's the good Bush, that's the one that lefties like, a racist. She met with the Secretary of Treasury without telling him that she and her husband had a financial interest in a bank during the crisis and was able to get some money for her bank. And she was investigated for it, ended up getting away with it, in my opinion, because she played the race card and because the investigators didn't want to deal with an angry black woman who showed no reluctance to play the race card. In any case, she has been in office forever. And a few years ago, Ted Hayes, the well-known homeless activist, ran against her, got 13% of the vote. An LAPD officer, an anti-gang guy named Carl McGill, ran against her as Republican in 2000 and got even less, got 10%. John Wood Jr., my next guest, ran against Maxine Waters and was facing a 100-to-1 spending disadvantage, a 4-to-1 disadvantage in party registration, and ended up getting almost 30% of the vote. The GOP assumed that this race was unwinnable, did not give him any love. And John Wood, by the way, is the grandson of the late Dot Records founder, whose name is Randy Wood, and is the son of the jazz pianist named John Wood Sr., and a mother who is an R&B singer named Deonda Theus. And John Wood proposed an economic plan for tax reform, welfare reform, entitlement reform, immigration reform, and talked about the high unemployment in the black community, and suggested that Maxine Waters' leadership was not, in fact, delivering the goods. Please welcome to the show, John Wood. John, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Larry. It's great to be back with you, and it's great to be back on the radio.
Congratulations for a well-run race, given how few resources you had.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
What, if anything, did the Republican Party, California and nationwide, do for you, John Wood? I think you've already answered.
I got a lot of pats on the back, and a lot of folks who wish me well. But I mean,
nobody whipped out the checkbook.
No, nobody whipped out the checkbook. I mean, this seat is supposed to be, by definition, unwinnable. And from a conventional strategic perspective, I can understand how, with limited resources, particularly in the state party, they felt other races were more important to invest in. But at the very least, I think we proved that with the right resources, with the right message, and perhaps with the right messenger, that not even Maxine Waters is in a safe district.
Mm-hmm. Her district is Inglewood, Westmont, Westchester, LAX, that area.
Well, correct. Right. Going east all the way to the western edge of Watts, and encompassing a substantial portion of South Los Angeles as well.
And the registration, 4-to-1, Democrat versus Republican. How do you overcome that, John?
Well, now for me, of course, not having the major resources, I did about the only thing that I could do, which was simply go door to door, make friends, bring people on board the team, and work with folks from both parties, or folks who weren't affiliated with either party. And you know me. I mean, my approach is to reconcile as much as possible folks from different walks of life and different folks from different sides of the fence, but who may agree at least that, particularly when you talk about inner city Los Angeles, but of course broadly speaking, we need a change of direction. We need some new leadership. And I would like to say that Maxine Waters has always been fairly nice to me personally. I meet a substantial number of people, not just Republicans. I go all day long meeting Democrats, meeting Black and Latino Democrats, who feel that broadly speaking, and specifically as it pertains to Maxine Waters, we need new leadership in the community, because the same problems, economic, educational, and otherwise, have simply persisted into a deep and a stubborn stagnation over the years of the leadership of the folks that we have in office now.
I'm talking to John Wood Jr., Republican candidate who ran against Congresswoman Maxine Waters and did very, very well considering being outspent and being out-registered. I'm assuming maybe, John, now that the Republican Party knows who you are and knows what you can do, if you try this again, they're going to show a little more support?
Well, I will say that I've gotten calls since the election, and got some meetings coming up at least, and I'm very grateful
for
that.
So now you're on the radar. You're on the radar.
Yeah, at the very least, I'm on the radar. And should I make the choice to and I don't know as of today whether it's a choice that I will make or not. I mean, I'm involved in other things. I have a nonprofit group I'm working with called Straightways, which is building jobs and businesses and economic opportunities in the inner city. So there are other things that I'm doing. But should I make the decision to go for this again, I think there's a much better likelihood that I would get the sort of support from the party that I would need. But more importantly, I'm confident that the people, Democrat, Republican, Black, White, Latino, etc. I mean, the folks came out for me, as O'Reilly would say. The folks came out, considering how little money we had to spend on advertising my name. I'm confident that they would do so again and in bigger numbers were we to give it another go.
Well, his website is wood2014.com. That's wood2014.com. John Wood, again, congratulations on a well-run race.
Thank you so much, Larry.